afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, June 2, 2024. Well, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Merging is from the highest path any of us can take. Moving into our most enlightened self comes from seeing that everyone is you in disguise. It's up to you to remember who you truly are. With enough meditation practice, there comes this realization that you are in me and I am in you. The divine real self that we all are is impossible not to see. You realize it is everywhere and has no actual boundary. It is not terrified of intimacy with anyone. It loves letting go, shape-shifting and merging with everyone in this universe. It knows that if you cannot see God at all, you cannot see God at all. And we have, it's why is it that we don't embrace that? It's because of the ego mind. And because we haven't accepted ourselves exactly as we are. Your essence, your essential joy is so huge that it flows in every direction. Nirmala. Sometimes we forget that the most important place we can turn for answers is inside ourselves. Now, if you have difficulty with your confidence in yourself, your faith in yourself, your trust in yourself, then you're not going to listen to yourself. This outer world tends to captivate us and tantalize us, coerce us to lose our inner direction with its materialistic importance and superficial psychodramas. We can become emotionally captured by these experiences, as many of us do, and feel completely disconnected from the safe, soothing resource of our inner world. Now, the mind can become so involved in the external that we fall blind to the truth of the radiant, sacred beings we actually truly are. The most enlightening path to liberation is the one that is the most sustainable and always available from within. This approach has stopped the search in the outer world for real fulfillment and knows there is no greater source of true satisfaction than the one that exists within. It's the incessant searching of the mind which causes us not to see. We are not seeing the divine sacred beings we truly are because we are following the mind's perpetual wanting, yearning, and desiring habit. And the more time we give for appreciating what is in our lives, accepting and loving the people who share our lives with us, the wanting program that had caused us internal blindness slowly starts to fade out of our lives. As long as the mind is directed outwards, our energy continues to flow away from our center, away from deep inner peace and the stillness where all real sustainable answers to this life are found. The truly liberated being is the one who has chosen to give up the perpetual search for happiness out there and lives only at the source of their pure spiritual essence, which is always available within. When we turn our attention to the real source itself, the energetic blackboard behind our inner world, the essential roots of love, thought, and creativity become the real gold. And when we discover the possibility of stopping the mind from its addiction to needing something outside itself to be satisfied, we discover the greatest world of freedom and empowerment has always been inside. Where there is awareness, there is the potential for healing, and spiritual freedom. In each moment, we can become aware where we are focusing our attention. Is it now on my inner world or my outer world? Eventually, with enough awareness, we see they are the same, and there is only one world. However, the mind is very, very, very conditioned and accustomed to perceiving a separation, focusing on the outer world for the causes of manifestation and fulfillment. It doesn't want to take 100% responsibility for the uncomfortable feelings that can be hiding in its basement. When we bring more awareness to where the source of the mind is coming from, where our outer world is truly manifesting from inside ourselves, we slowly start to see we have total responsibility over the manifestations in our life. By not judging, but simply accepting what we find on the journey towards the source of all thought, we eventually discover how to relax into the source of all thought. We eventually discover how to relax into this divine responsibility, bathe the light of our being. The source of our spiritual essence begins to take precedence over the mind, and we relax into a deeper life experience that is full of unlimited potential and freedom. Perhaps the most wonderful thing about this universe is that it is perpetually benevolent. It always gives us exactly what we need, especially when we don't realize what it is we truly need. If and when we are only directing our attention towards the outer world, we burn out, and this universe leads us to retreat back into our inner world to reboot. The body and mind are programmed to find balance, peace, and healing. And at some point, the pendulum of life will swing us back to stillness on its own accord. The stillness is the doorway to our ultimate creativity, God-given manifestation responsibility. This is the moment our real spiritual journey begins. The unfulfilling, never-ending path to satisfying the ego comes to an end. Quote from Maharishi, "Be always feeling and reflecting on the real being. Be that. Cling close to it. Let your quest be constant and sustained until you catch the self and thereby find eternal happiness." The soul, or spiritual being, who you actually are, is so huge, all-consuming and deeply enlightening that ultimately it doesn't matter if you get whatever your ego wants or doesn't want. Your mind ego will always be trying to want something that it thinks will finally bring it to being completely fulfilled and satisfied. The problem is that it only knows how to want. it doesn't know how to relax and rest in having or pure being. However, the rabbit hole goes even deeper here. For just recognizing the incessant desiring mind habit is not the final answer to freedom here. The real freedom comes from knowing that when we do get whatever we want, we will also get what we don't want. Whenever we manifest any desire, we always get them both. There's always two sides to the coin. You get a lot of money, right? You're obviously not over in the thinking about how you can this. You're just happy that you got a lot of money. For you, a lot of money. Then, after a short period of time, you're going, how am I going to manage this? Who am I going to trust? I can't let people know I have this. That's the other part of it. Usually we don't see that. Until we have it, then we see it in most cases. Always getting both what we want and what we don't want is one of the most enlightening and deeply liberating spiritual paths to explore. When we realize that this life is always going to be a break-even, win-lose experience with every desire we go after, we start to relax about the whole game, drop into something deeper inside. In the beginning, this dropping in can feel like apathy. Thinking, what's the point of it all? If we always get what we want and what we don't want, and never only just the goodies, yet this feeling will soon fall away. When we see that the nature of desire, not having, is pure suffering, and that inner peace with desire actually manifests our desires much more easily, then the great ride of life becomes enjoyable along the way. When we understand that every single time we manifest any desire, we get both what we want and what we don't want, we stop becoming so attached to making our desires manifest. We stop trying to manipulate and control life so as to get it to flow our way. We stop being so greedy, needy, and full of selfish, egoic agendas. Then there arises this feeling of sweet surrender to the grand loyalty of life, majesty of our being, simple awareness of this profound truth. We begin to relax into our spiritual nature and thus become a more powerful manifesting magnet for everything our heart desires. Life's problems may be complicated, yet the answers are always very simple, unknown. This universe is full of mystery and paradox. When we give up on wanting something, we become a stronger magnet for receiving it. It seems backwards. A lot of people may say, why is it that way? So you want something. It can be anything across the board. And so like I said, you put it out to the universe while in meditation. And then you just let it go. You don't chase it. You don't obsess about it. You don't, just go nuts about it. You just kind of walk away, yet it happens every time it comes to you. When we relinquish attachment to something, that something just wants to fall into our lap. The most enlightening approach to dealing with attachment to a desire is knowing that once the desire is manifested, we must be emotionally prepared to receive the opposing negative byproduct as well. This doesn't mean we cannot or should not celebrate the attainment of our goal in an outrageous way. In fact, it's best that we give it our all Do a total let go. Fall deep into appreciation, because this increases our joy vibration. As we let go into total full self-expression, we can rise even higher into ecstatic bliss, because we know that very soon the annoying negative flip side to things will arise and bring everything back to an even neutral balance. One may think that, which has been quoted many times, life is like a gambling casino where you always win whatever you bet. You bet 5, you get 5 back each time. There is always an even outcome, a perfect balance to this life, which makes everything fair in the end. Karmically, we always get whatever we put into our life. Some say life is unfair, yet life actually is completely fair. Everything balances itself out in the end. We simply have to look for the rainbow when we're drowning in the rainstorm. There's always a brilliant wave of light underneath every dark undertow of fear. This universe was set up this way so we could remain neutral, relaxed, in the awareness that is at the center of our being, which subsequently is also the center of this entire universe. The trick to life, if you want to call it a trick, is to be continually alert to the new, because nothing is ever as it seems. You ever said that to yourself? Maybe someone said it to you? Nothing is ever as it seems. We can think a person is a certain rigid way our whole lives, only at the end to realize that they had a hidden flexible part that we could never see. It is how we see things that makes them what they are. Our perception of people, colors, and taints them, yet does not come close to the truth of their grand totality. Everyone is a permanent grand mystery to be experienced and explored. When we hold this understanding as sacred, our relationships and communications with others unfold in a much more enlightening way. Once we become conscious about this perpetual balanced nature of duality, the incessant desiring game will completely subside. Then we are eased into a nesting area of true relaxation within our hearts and lives. Here we can experience the grace and joy of our divinity, the healing quality of our being. We can discover real freedom, our true essence, and our essential nature. Observe the mind. When thoughts come, ask, to whom do these thoughts come to? Always watch, witness, and observe. Do not get caught in thought. Just surrender. Robert Adams. We will come to an understanding with ourselves, deep understanding, that we can create anything we desire. See, when someone says that now, in most cases, there's this uneasiness in most people. Now, you say, you could manifest anything that your heart desires within seconds. How many do you believe would embrace that? Not many. In fact, most of the ego mind would say, oh, come on, get out of here. That's just not true. Oftentimes we talk ourselves out of things. because it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel too comfortable because it's not any ground that we've ever walked upon. So we talk ourselves out of it. A lot of the times we sabotage ourselves. I don't believe it's where you know it, right? I'm going to sabotage myself. No. It's subconscious. It's where you don't feel you're deserving. That you don't deserve whatever it is. And then we fear it. We fear it. So there's a time there where we are really excited about it. Right? Really, really look forward to whenever it comes in. But then as we sense it getting closer, a lot of us get uncomfortable with it. Fearful even. All these other thoughts start coming in. Almost to the point where you're overwhelmed. And then ego mind will negate it. It never happens. I don't think any of us are exempt from that. And it doesn't happen, ever. And then we don't understand why. See, if you would like to experience being truly unstoppable in your life, learn how to increase your consciousness. Expand your energy by tapping into a higher vibration of belief in yourself. You won't care so much if things go exactly as planned. Instead, you'll just continue to do what inspires you and lifts your vibration. There is a way you can turn up your energy so high that nothing can get in your way. And it starts with a commitment to yourself that you will keep sacred for the rest of your life. This commitment is to be kind to yourself, gentle with you, and never ever come down hard on yourself, no matter what. Follow this one sweet little secret for even a few weeks in a row, and you'll start increasing your vibration to attract, create, manifest everything your heart desires. What do most of us do? We come down on ourselves. Judge ourselves, ridicule ourselves, bash ourselves. And what is that? Low vibrational frequency. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Those of us who are unhappy with ourselves, feel slighted or undeserving, or our confidence and faith and trust in ourselves is in the toilet. So we just kind of drag through life. We don't like ourselves. And we try to ignore ourselves. Whenever we do anything, we come down on ourselves. All low vibrational frequency. Anything is possible. You can say anything's possible, that you would never give up on your dream. But anything is possible. But a lot of us don't believe that anything is possible. In fact, we believe that most things aren't possible. There's many of us, and you don't have to be famous, but there's many of us that throughout the ages learned how to attract all the good. good people, good things surrounding us. We learned how to do that. Well, how the heck do you do that? You make the decision for yourself. And it's a commitment, it's a lifelong commitment. And what is your commitment? That you're going to continually raise your vibrational frequency. How are you going to do that? Staying out of the goop. Focus on happiness, joy, bliss. You don't need to have something to be happy. Right? And most people, figure this out now. Most people who have money don't talk about money. They don't count money. They don't worry about money. And it continually refills and comes in. But what do most people do? They worry about money. They stress about money. They call money the root of all evil, so their relationship to money is stressed or strained. They never seem to have enough money because they talk about money. They talk about money and they count money and they worry about not having money. All those things negate your wealth. So when someone starts talking about money around you, you just aren't interested in talking about money. Genuinely. Not forced, but genuinely. You say, I don't know if it's change the subject or just excuse yourself. Or you just come out and say, I don't really like talking about money. And some people get that look on their face and go, what? I find it's a very low vibrational frequency when you worry, stress, and fear about anything. It takes it away so we don't manifest it. You put it out there, you focus on it, you put it out there in the greatest detail that you can, and then you leave it alone. Okay, so your faith, confidence, and trust in yourself takes over. You just know. That's it. And we have this innately within us. And when you enjoy something, you increase your vibrational frequency. When you don't, you lower it. So how many of us do not like doing what we're doing? I'd say quite a few. And what happens when we shift gears and do something we really enjoy doing? Huge difference. Vibrational frequency goes up. It's for us to concentrate on that. We know that there's negatives, okay? We know that certain negatives come in, but there's no reason for them to stay a long time. They come in, you interact with them, they're gone. And you focus, you refine it. As you go along, you become more and more cognizant to the fact that, okay, so if I go here in this very moment, I'm going to lower my vibrational frequency, which is not good. So I've decided not to lower my vibrational frequency. I've decided to increase it. And what happens? Well, you attract things that are of high vibrational frequency. People, events, happenings, occurrences, all kinds of things. Doesn't it make sense? It's not difficult. It's up to us for ourselves. Do I want to carry a low vibrational frequency with myself? Well, we all know what that's like. We all know what it attracts, too. We say to ourselves, no, not interested in that. How can one be happy when everything seems to be crappy? You focus on what you're grateful for. You stop yourself. You say, what can I be grateful for? What am I grateful for? See, this is all about tuning your piano, so to speak. Tuning it to perfection. What we're doing is we're tuning ourselves, reprogramming ourselves, understanding the difference between low vibrational frequency and high, and what those two do, and then choosing which one we want to embrace. Now, there's one question to yourself that you can ponder for the next couple of days. One basic idea. Everything is perfect in this universe exactly as it should be. The only imperfections that exist are those created by the mind. Everything is either a misguided projection, a highly creative interpretation, a decorated perception of perfection forming in our brain. Meditating on this one simple truth will liberate you from many, many, many years of suffering. Everything is perfect as it is. All imperfections you see are imaginary. If you can dwell on this concept and hold on to it for even a few minutes, you'll notice that you'll start to feel lighter, have more inner clarity, and a sense of spiritual freedom throughout your day. And abiding in this understanding opens up 1,001 doorways to the divine. You will automatically begin living a life that is empowered, awakened, and feels more harmonious. You can liberate yourself from 99% of your daily suffering just by respecting this one simple truth. So get curious about it. Understand its deeper meaning. Explore the feeling how everything actually is always perfect in this universe exactly as it is. The longer you can feel into this experience and assimilate it into your body, the more blissed out you'll feel every day along the way. It's a good thing to know that as you enlighten yourself, you are also helping to enlighten everyone else on this planet. Ramana Maharishi quote, "Realization is nothing new to be acquired. It is already there, but obstructed by a screen of thoughts. All our attempts are directed to lifting this screen, and then realization is revealed." No matter, I say this at the end of every meditation, no matter what is happening in your outer world, in your relationships, the internet, your family, at work, etc., 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 realize that everything around you is happening for one very specific reason: to awaken you to your spiritual nature. This means opening you, healing you, making you more conscious, alive, and available to the living flow of energy that is perpetually moving through you. Everything in this universe is happening for you, not to you. You're here to wake up and remember that Who you truly are is an infinite spiritual being, having an occasional, limited, time-bound experience of being human. When we discover our spiritual foundation, and we will, the experience that we are all-powerful, super-manifesting beings becomes evident and obvious. This universe blasts synchronicities at you, unveiling the truth that we are all one unified being, connected to the same cosmic source. Your mission here is to believe this. And knowing this truth allows you to know yourself as divine. Who you are is not just human. You have the God-given manifestation power within you to create, attract, and magnetize anything you can dream of. Manifesting is your basic nature. It's your natural state of being. Notice that whatever you place your focus or attention upon is what you manifest into your life. If you focus on thoughts that make you happy, empowered, abundant, and free, you will attract more people and situations that mirror those positive, joyful experiences back to you. We truly are much more powerful than the mind can ever comprehend. We are such powerful beings that there is nothing we cannot manifest into this physical dimension. The mind's too small, it's too limited, too conceptual, and too narrow-minded to digest the immensity of who we are. Only the heart is big enough to tap into the immensity of our being. And still, it will fall short. Our spiritual essence is without borders in time, space, or energy. We are timeless metaphysical magicians sailing through an eternal ocean of time and energy. We are one with the infinity. This meeting is the unveiling of our true spiritual essence. By taking responsibility for this meeting inside, our real power begins to emerge in our lives. We naturally begin attracting and creating everything our heart was dreaming about. Join you in a meditation. Return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath into the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Nothing has to happen for peace to be present. All you need to do is simply turn your attention towards that peaceful underlying stream of consciousness that is always flowing. Peace is who you are. It underlies all the noisy chaos of your existence. Close your eyes. Let yourself feel this deep peace that permeates all. When you cannot find enough love, then relax and don't try to keep on looking. It is your looking that causes you not to find. Rest deeply into yourself today. Do this one thing all day long, and you will soon be surprised how much your heart expands. Soon you will feel you have arrived at the infinite source of self-love and reconnection. When this occurs, let your inner struggle fully come into all the love that they can, until you cannot handle it anymore. Just let your struggling parts relax and rest deeper into the feeling of the infinite source of love. It's all happening inside you. Now is the time to bring all your inner orphan parts home. It's going to feel so good. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here Monday, June 3rd, 2024, around after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, and purest of the purest, purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on around you or within you. Open your heart and let the magic flow in.